Tinny from Mini Bull Design, and today, on the second video of the day, I'm just going to talk for a few minutes because this is something on my mind, and I just want to share it with you and let you see it from my point of view. Now, in my lifetime, and I'm 60 years old, I have known some college professors who were profoundly wise and intelligent and simply continue to amaze me every time I talk to them. They had answers to things that I never guessed you could find answers to, and I really respect those. On the other end of the spectrum, I spent 30 years being guided, bossed, and generally ruled over by people fresh out of college who had a degree but had no practical experience with it yet. They simply had gone through the course and they had the degree with no practical experience. Now, with this hammock video that I just did with the lines and the weight and everything, people with higher education than I who know about this fairly complicated math way over my head calculated that the stress on the hammock lines, if the hammock was pitched straight, would be 1,000 pounds, maybe even a ton, depending on, several different factors. And mathematically, they are absolutely correct. The math completely bears it out. But anybody who's ever tried to do that, who has some practical experience in the real world, knows that their test subject is impossible to achieve. You can never get a cable or especially a piece of hammock line stretched so tight that when you put a 180-pound person on it, it's still straight. It will always sag. And when it sags 3, 4, 5 degrees, 10 degrees, then the formula changes. You have to figure the formula at the angle of it loaded. Now, if you were to load that and it dropped 10 or 20 degrees, and you took the end of the line and hooked it to the bumper of a car and drove the car in the opposite direction and tensioned that line probably up to a ton, you probably could get it very close to straight, but it still would never ever be straight, because anybody that's ever worked with lines and levers would know that it's physically impossible to have a line absolutely straight after you hang weight on it. It's always going to have some stretch, and it's not going to be straight anymore. That's the difference between a textbook example and the real world, and that's the problem with college-educated people who have no practical experience, and obviously are not going to use logic. So that's the reason why you get these comments from people with some fairly strong math skills that just don't bear themselves out. So, if they're wrong on that, think of all the other things they're wrong at. I mean, if you don't have practical experience and you don't actually understand the math that you're using from a real-world perspective, you can make all kinds of mistakes. And I suspect whenever there's a really big catastrophic failure of something, that's probably why. Somebody didn't have the practical experience to understand what they were doing, and they built it according to the textbook, which never works. That might be what's wrong with our government. I'm Tinny from Mini Bull Design. Get out and hike, take a friend, enjoy the great outdoors, and more important than anything, be nice, leave no trace, and have a really great day. Bye-bye.